Hi everybody, this is Coach McCreary from Baseball by the Art. Thanks for stopping by. Today's video tip is for any player, of course, who wants to get more out of their arm when they're throwing. So I'm talking about pitchers, I'm talking about outfielders, infielders, it doesn't matter. Probably one of the bigger problems that I see with young kids is that they do not get their arm long when they throw. Now, of course, as you get older, there's a lot of merits, let's say if you play middle infielder, to short arm the ball. If you're going to start a double play, of course, you don't want a long arc and a long circle when you're making your throw. But with little kids, they're trying to get the most out of their arm. Of course, with pitchers, at any stage, they of course want to make their arm long in most cases. So here's what I do when I work with some kids who need to lengthen their arm up. And these are kids that when they bring the ball out of the glove, they tend to do this. They tend to short arm the ball and they don't get the most out of their arm. So here's a few things that I will do. One tip is to have them do a figure eight, which is they square up to their partner, they start with the ball in front of them, they go up and around, and they create a figure eight with their arm when they turn sideways. So they start here, they go up, around, and that automatically, in many cases, is going to help them lengthen their arm. You see how my arm comes down here instead of coming back like this. You can't do a figure eight if you bring the ball back straight like that. So a figure eight sometimes gets that arm to lengthen a little bit and therefore create a bigger arc and a stronger throw as well. So a figure eight can help. I did another longer video on how to throw batting practice, and there's a couple other tips there for pitchers who are looking to throw batting practice, but it also can help with kids learning to lengthen that arm a little bit. Instead of doing that figure eight, if they're having a problem getting the hang of that, they can just start with the ball up in front and let their arm drop when they turn sideways. So they start here, let it drop all the way down, and then make that long circle. So if you see it from the side, we'll start the ball up here, and when they turn, they just let the ball drop down next to their leg, which creates that big circle to get more out of their arm. Now the third tip I'll give is to, sometimes I'll tell kids to brush their thigh, kind of the midpoint between their knee and their hip, brush that midpoint with their thumb, okay, to get that feeling of where their hand should be when they're coming down. So whether they're doing a figure eight or just starting the ball up here, when they drop the ball, if they brush their thigh with their thumb, that gives them the feeling of lengthening that arm. So those are three tips there. My fourth tip is probably the easiest one for little kids, and just have them start the ball down next to their leg. So even with kids who are pitching, who are on the pitching mound, let's say in this case from the stretch, I'll have them come set as if the ball was here, but I'll have them leave the ball right here. Now when they bring their knee up, the ball is already down here. They don't have to worry about bringing it down. So they get that feeling of starting with the ball down here, and then when they go home, they come up with it. So they're used to getting that long motion of their arm. And then hopefully that can transfer into starting the ball here, and when they bring their knee up, the first movement is down. Down to make that arm long, and creating that big circle in order to make that throw. So if the young player is an outfielder who needs to make those long throws, they're going to need to lengthen their arm on the throw. It has value with pitchers. It has value for infielders who have to make long throws. Of course, as I said, as you get older, there's merit to short arming the ball in certain circumstances, but for many kids, they never get that long arm action, and that's important to do no matter what position you're playing. So give those tips a try. Hopefully that'll help. If we can get the kids to make their arms long at a younger age, it's one major thing they don't have to fix when they get older. So I'm Coach McCreary signing off. Have a good day, everybody.